So welcome again to another edition of Globuntu Books Studio Conversations. It's still Black History Month, and we're still doing the talking. And this particular talking is about a series of books that has a lot of depth. And today we are here to invite you, first of all, to share with you what has been in season one, what this is all about, and what is up for season two, and how you can join. My name is Beatrice Achaleke. I am the serial author of the Africa for Smart Kids book series and publisher of Globuntu Books and the curator of Letters To. So in the studio, I have my co-curator joining me all the way from Canada, and she will quickly introduce herself, and then we'll get into the conversation. And our mission today, Elykiah, is just to let people know the importance of this series and how they can get involved. So over to you. Introduction.
Hey, it's a pleasure, as always, to be with you in your studio, in your space. Thank you so much for sharing it. My name is Elykiah Doumbe. I am a proud African woman. I used to be a journalist. Now I have my own company, which is called Upendo. Upendo comes from a place of love. It means love in Swahili, and it also means up and do. And I'm also the proud host of a TV show, a web TV show, which is called Connexion 360. What else can I say? And I will be the co-curator for this edition, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Thank you so much, Elykiah, and those of you who are out there. We are streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So you know, this Globuntu Studio is always open for conversation. So if you're out there, use the comment box to join the conversation. And if you like what we're doing, please follow the Globuntu Books page on LinkedIn and Instagram, and of course on YouTube. We love to hear from you. So let's get the conversation going. So you get to know what this Letters To series is all about. And so, yes, Elykiah, you are the co-curator. You have watched this series come from, just an idea into manifesting into what it is today. So we are moving on to season two, where we edit and publish the 4 letters of season one. And let me tell you, we have 17 authors, 17 co-authors from 4 continents, 8 or 9 cities. The numbers are growing every day. We have moms and daughters writing, and the topics are just incredible. So I'm happy that you're the co-curator for this season 2, and I am so looking forward to curating this one with you.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I missed the writings in the first edition, which I deeply regret, but I felt shy writing. So, and I didn't attend all of the sessions when you were training people, and this is something that I will correct this time. But this time I also want to be in a place where I can encourage people to write, because I know that it's very therapeutic. I know that it's very empowering. I know all the benefits of writing. Getting into that is still another step to take. So let me ask you, how can you help someone like me?
Well, first of all, you have to be willing and ready. Someone like you has to be willing and ready. We have a lot of excuses when it comes to writing. I had them. I always wanted to write, but I never wrote until when I was 46. And even then, 41. And even then I had to use the services of a ghostwriter, but I was writing a novel. It was a bigger one. So because I want to take away the fear, the procrastination, the self-doubt, the fear of being judged, not being able to write what someone will read, and being misunderstood, and making mistakes, and all of those. And because of that, procrastinating is the reason why I launched the series, the Letters To series, because that series takes away a lot of the fright. First of all, you're writing in a company, you're writing with a group of other people together. Secondly, you get the tips on how to write. Third, you're writing just 1,000 words about. So you don't have to write a whole book by yourself. And so writing just 1,000 words and on a specific topic is something that really takes away all those fears that quite a lot of authors have, that shy them away or that block them from writing. And so that's the reason why the letters to could be like your launch pad. It's like your launch pad into actually getting to writing that story that you're carrying in you that you always wanted to write. And the experience of the first season has shown that we have a bunch of serial authors coming up. You know, one more thing: the way I structured the letters to series is that we write 4 letters. We write 4 letters in a season, so you don't get in and you get out. When you're in, you got to do 4 letters, and by the end of those 4 letters, you've really activated the writing spirit in you. You've found the writer in you, and you have found your voice. And from there, nothing can stop you from writing any further.
So, what are the topics? Because I know that season 1 had letters to universe and other.
Let me show you. Let me bring it on screen so we can go through the. So where is the screen? Come, bring it up. Come up. So again, in each season, we have 4 titles. The first one is Love Letters to the Universe. And given all that we've gone through, the intention was for us to recognize the gift of life, the fact that we're still here, to embrace it and to celebrate it. And they're just incredible. For this one, we did not have 15 letters, but we had 12 authors. Mm-hmm. And they came from, again, 4 continents and it's 6 cities. 6 cities, and moms and daughters, they're writing, sisters, siblings are writing. So that was the first one, which we just released last week. Right now, we are working on the second title in the season 1. Let me go grab my screen. So book title number 2 is Letters of Forgiveness. And if you thought that recognizing and celebrating the gift of life was deep, then this one is even much deeper. And women are decluttering, women are releasing, women are sharing some of the baggage that they've always carried with them, some from childhood, and some of them very traumatizing, and being so happy that they're eventually letting go of this baggage. So that's the title number 2, which we will be releasing in March, Women's Month. And after that, we then, when we celebrate the gift of life, when we forgive, then we want to tackle the pandemic. So we want to write to the pandemic, say enough is enough. What is it that you've gone through during the pandemic that that empowered you, that something that you learned new about yourself, something that you let go, something that was taken away from you. So we are decluttering the experiences of the pandemic in this letter number 4. Very quickly, let me finish number 5, and then I'll come over to you. So let me finish with come back. So when we have recognized the gift of life and celebrated, we have forgiven, and we have spoken to the pandemic and hopefully sent it to hell, we are then talking to the ancestors, whether your ancestor is your creator, your God, or someone that has passed that you are attached to, or your ancestors, the people that on whose shoulders you stand. So we're talking to them to kind of acknowledge them, to ask for divine guidance and protection. And again, the ancestors here can be just anything that you look up to. Could be your divine self, your highest consciousness. Could be God. Could be, just anything that you look up to spiritually. So you wanted to say something, Elykiah, before we go to season 2.
It was just a question of clarification when you presented the letters to forgiveness, letter of forgiveness. Mm-hmm. You talked about being women being having faced traumas and things like that. So I wanted just to clarify: is it only those letters? Are they only for women, or can men also be part of this experience?
Well, the letters are open to everyone. They're open, and again, because I explained this idea, share this idea with you from the very beginning, and the titles, that this comes in seasons, and that there's some titles that are going to be specifically inviting men to write, and some that are specifically inviting women. Some are inviting families. Some are general. So season 1, interestingly enough, for the first title, we had just women. But right now, we had the first brother come in who has contributed to letters of forgiveness. And the doors are open. We want to get it as intergenerational, gender, gender open. We want to have it as diverse as possible. And so I'm saying that. So for season 1, for title 1, season 1, we had 12 authors. Now, within the space of 2 weeks, we've had 4 new authors join. So now we are 17. So you see, the family is growing. The need, people are recognizing the need and joining the series. So we are open to all genders.
Very good. That was a clarification that the audience needs to listen. In case there is no confusion, everybody is welcome to participate in those letters. So, what will be now the topics for this season?
I'll get you back to the screen. It's like I kick out our screen sharing. Let me go pick it up again, and so we can go through the topics for this season. So there is the screen. So this is season 2. Again, we have 4 titles. The first title, as you will see, is it's 15, where we're seeing the number of contributors is growing. The initial idea was 15 letters per title. But when people come with issues that they want to release, you can't send them away. So what we're doing is we just keep it growing and seeing. But if we exceed a certain number of letters, we will definitely have volume 1 and volume 2 for the same title. So in the first place, we're starting with our kids. Our kids are going through a whole lot during this pandemic. And parents and adults are juggling with having to provide for material need. And I think we are not really doing the conversation with the kids to find out, what is the experience, wearing masks, not going to school, having to homeschool, not meeting your friends, not even at some point not being able to hug. And when your loved one dies, you can't even go for the funerals. You can't have your ceremonies. There have been a lot of limitations. And this, like my daughter says, is something that none of us in our generation faced. This generation is kind of stigmatized, but they carry this burden that part of their childhood was taken from them away by the pandemic violently. So it's something that if we don't deal with it, it becomes traumatizing. So we want to give the kids the space to share the experiences, to release some of the experiences of the pandemic. So that's one title, Letters to the Pandemic Kids Edition. And then the second one is Letters to Self. Again, we've gone through all the situations. We've gone through so much and we're still here. So who are you becoming as we navigate through this pandemic? And we want to do something like a time machine. You write a letter to yourself, who you think you are right now, who you want to become, and tell your 2030 version of you. So we will write, we will release, and in 2030, we will go back to this letter to self and see what is it that has materialized, what has changed, where are we today based on what we said who we said we were and where we were going to when we wrote the letter in 2022. The third one is going to be to letters to departed loved ones. And we've seen so many people go. We've seen so many people go. And again, this time has been so special because some of us, especially we African people, we're used to taking leave of our loved ones, celebrating, gathering and mourning together and sharing those moments. This was taken away by the pandemic. So some people are still not even realizing that they've lost those people. So what we want to do is write letters to your loved ones. What is it that you want to tell them? Even those that went before the pandemic, tell them about what this pandemic has done. What era are we in now? Those who have gone, what is the message that you want to give them? If you were not able to go to the funeral, you were not able to go because you have to social distance, because you have to quarantine, what is it that you like to give them on their way as they transition to the other side? And what are the wishes that you have towards them? The last one is going to be letters to the post-COVID generation. And someone said, COVID is still here. And I said, yes, it is still here. But we have to be intentional, like Samantha will say, We have to be conscious of the fact that about pushing it out and saying you'll stay here, but you're not here to stay. It's not your place to stay here. So, and then we're looking at the children who will be born in 2030, 2050, who will hopefully not have gone through this. So we want to write to them so that they get to know. When our grandparents used to talk about World War I, World War II, we couldn't even think about what is that. And now there will be a post-COVID generation, and this post-COVID generation will hopefully not have gone through this. So we writing for them so they realize how we individually, as their relatives, their aunties, their mothers, their great-grandmothers experience this is something that I want us to capture. So we document it. It's about creating a blueprint legacy. That's why that title is so important right now. So Elykiah, that's the job that you and I have to curate this season 2.
I love it. I love it. It will be very rewarding also to see that people are being faced, and the youth, the younger generation, even the adults will be faced with their mental health situations, because this COVID also brought a lot of mental health issues, even if it was new issues, or if it was already there, latent and triggered by this pandemic. So having to write those letters will be very helpful and can help us start some conversation that we are not ready to start, or we are afraid to start. So this is just an amazing experience to have, writing those letters. And the other thing about all the topics that you brought, for me, the common thread that I see is just the power of letting go. The power of letting go, the power of, okay, we are mourning, we are now at peace, and we let go, and life has to be lived. We have to continue somehow. So it's really what I really see deep, that we want to share this power of letting go, this capacity of letting go. So I really found that I'm excited just to be part of this great adventure.
It is that, and also the fact that we're reaching out to one another. Remember, we've been quarantined. We have been taken out of our offices. We've been taken out of our workplaces. We've been taken out of our businesses. We've been taken out of the places where people used to gather, churches, family ceremonies, weddings, and all those things, birthday parties.
For me, when you say that way, it means we haven't been human, because human is about connectedness.
That's right.
We love that.
And Africanness, being African, you can't be an African without your people, right?
No.
So again, this letters is again bringing people together so we can reconnect and then define where we want to go together from there, because we have a common experience. Even though our individual experiences and this common experience is different, but we all have that stigma, if we want to call it that way. We all have the pandemic experience. We all are the pandemic generation. And the children that are born now, that are here at the post, will be they will say some of them will be born during the pandemic and some will be post-pandemic. So we have all of that to carry, that burden to carry. And coming together to say, okay, let's find out, let's share what has been, and let's create something together. Let's heal together. Let's release and let go together. Let's create the future together. This is what this series is about. It's about letting go together, but rebuilding that collective that was disrupted violently by the pandemic.
And also the fact that I like the post-COVID generation, the letter to post-COVID generation, because it will also mean, how do we want to live together? Now that we've faced it, how can we live together? What have we learned? What are we transmitting that can help us move forward and live together?
That's right. And when you link that together with the letters to the pandemic from the kids, it's also them kind of, it allowed us parents, because again, we're not having these conversations. We're so busy with other things that have been thrown at us by the pandemic, and trying to make sure that our children have food on the table, that they have, that they go to school, but what goes on inside of them, I think there's been little conversation, all those things that they have been deprived of, that have been forced to go through at their very tender age. You and I would never have to move around for 2 years with a mask. I mean, we did have our own generational challenges, but we did not have that.
Just
we
a
did not
little
get
story.
out of schools, that you can't meet your classmate, you can't meet your teacher. We did not get glued to the screen to learn, and this is something that we really need them to go deep inside to talk about it, so that first of all, we get to understand them. What are they going through? We as adults, when parents read this, when teachers read these letters, when caregivers will read the letters that children are writing, this is a space where we're creating that conversation, enabling conversations, and say, bring it out, don't swallow it. Even if you've not been able to talk about this in the family, now is the time. And this is what I've seen in the series that we've launched and the conversations with the co-authors. My daughter just joined the series, and what she writes in her letter, she and I will talk almost every day. And I was so sure, if you ask me when I'm sleeping what is going on inside of her, I will be able to tell you. But when she writes, she brings in some other things that for whatever reasons, she hasn't been able to share. And Elykiah, there's one thing about writing letters. It is the fact that it is intimate. You're not at a conference talking where people will interrupt you and ask questions, where you have an audience. It's you sitting down with your device and zooming inside of you and peeling those layers and talking at your own terms and you're under your own conditions and sharing what you think needs to be shared without the fear that anyone will judge you. And this is the powerful thing about writing letters, which is completely different from writing a book again. And it's very intimate. It's you and your device and you.
And this is something that we haven't been able to do for a long time, like taking time to be friends again with ourselves, taking time to talk to ourselves, taking time to reflect on ourselves. This is something that we are losing because we are so busy on Facebook, YouTube, on social media, and on other things that we forget that this part is also how to connect with the divine, how to connect with the creator by zooming inside of ourselves. So it's really needed. It takes courage, though. It
does. Mm-hmm. It does. But you see, the fact that we have the younger generation coming in, they're coming and picking and writing. And I'm hoping that encourages. So the moms who are in with their daughters, one mom, she was struggling. You've met Cheko Fatso, the first Globuntu award-winning young author. Her mom was struggling to write. And Cheko says, Mom, what are you doing? So Auntie and I were doing a project. And what is it about? It's about writing letters. So what letters are they? And the mom said, well, this is the letters that we're writing. She's been struggling for 2 days. And Cheko says, let me see, I'll join. She goes into her room. 2 hours after, she comes with a very long letter. And so her mom was like, what? And then her auntie, who just published a book that we launched yesterday, this one, she was like, I want to write, but I don't know if I'll have time to write the letter. The moment Cheko put her letter in the group, she was like, what? I am in. So I'm hoping that those who write faster are going to take along those who, for whichever reason, have hesitations or are not able to come along. So that's why we create a community. When you join the Letters to series, you become part of the community. And we communicate in the community at different levels. We have a group where we communicate daily, share whatever it is. We have another group where we go in to talk about the experiences of writing. And in terms of you and I curating this, every now and then we'll bring some of the authors, the co-authors, to share their experiences and their testimonies about how they got into it, how they overcame the fright and the procrastination and the fear of writing, to write 4 letters within 2 weeks. 2 weeks, you write 4 letters. That's what it is. And then we get a boost about designing it.
So for those, and that this is also for the benefit of our audience, for those who don't write in English, how can we be there for them?
Again, it's about giving people authenticity. Writing letters is about being authentic. So we encourage people to write in the language that is theirs, the language that they feel comfortable in. So in the first title that we released, Love Letters to the Universe, we have a sister who wrote in Zulu, and then we translate it into English. So you have the Zulu version, the English version of the letter inside in the book. We have another sister joining from Germany who wrote in German. And so you have the German version and the translation into English. So we are encouraging people to write in their languages. Again, like you rightly say, from here going forward, we're reading who we want to be. We're redefining priorities. We're redefining even what we want, the mental space that we want to be in, but also the languages that we want to speak. As Black people, so many languages have been imposed on us, and we had to take them. We're speaking the colonial language right now. So this is the space where we're encouraging which language is your language, the one that is most common to you, that you come in with that language and then we translate that into English. And this allows you to write twice, and then you can rethink. It does something with your mental well-being when you have to, write your emotional well-being, your personal growth. And when I see this women now saying, I am a co-author of 4 books in less than 2 months, this is powerful. So again, don't let the fright of language keep you away from jumping into the train. So I see there is one co-author online. She's texted. This file is incredible. So Evelyn, I see you. You're joining all the way from Equatorial Guinea. You are one of the new authors in the Letters of Forgiveness, and I celebrate you. Thank you. Again, make sure that you share with friends. Let's get more people into this so that we can declutter, release, forgive, and grow individually and collectively.
Did Evelyn have a question? Or?
So, Elykiah, over to you.
Yes, I was asking, did Evelyn have...
No. She just said...
Oh.
No, she's just acknowledging
okay.
out of our desires. Yeah.
Okay.
So, these are some of the topics that some people have advantage of you when you were young, when at your vulnerable moments and all of those things, and you've never shared them. These are some of the stories that this is the space that we're creating for you to finally release those stories, so you can be the best version of you, that the person that you were meant to be, not who someone made you to become. So you don't continue to be the prisoner of that person, whoever they are.
Are you there? You seem to be frozen. What yes, I like also, I like something that I don't even know how to translate that. I like when you say that it's a blueprint legacy that we are creating. Tell me, what does it really
right
mean?
Here, I can hear you. Please carry on.
What does it really mean to have that blueprint legacy?
It's raining heavily outside. I can barely hear you. Can you come again, please?
I say something that you like to say is that we are creating a blueprint legacy.
Yes.
What does it really mean to have that blueprint legacy?
Blueprint legacy is something that is written, that is there. There's an oral legacy. The social media and all the videos that we're doing, you're creating a digital legacy, right? An oral legacy, a visual legacy. The blueprint, that one may be deleted. If Facebook is no longer existent today, all of the audio and the visual legacies that we've created, they're gone. But when you write a book, it's there forever. We're still talking about Camera Live. We're talking about Check and Tadio. We're talking about, who are some of those? Mongo Betty. We're talking about Batebiso. These are some of our great authors that have written. They're gone, but this blueprint is still here. No one takes it away. It is indelible. And because we come from an oral tradition, we don't write very much. Now, this is the time where we're inviting and saying, while we're creating digital blueprints, let's create indelible blueprint that will last for generations upon generations, a lifetime.
Exactly. I really love that. I have 2 dear persons who passed, my mom and a dear friend last year. And for my mom, there was something she was telling me on the phone a few days before her passing, that the connection was so bad that I didn't hear. And this haunts me. And then my friend, I was thinking that when she passed last year, 2 years ago, I was like, whoa, there are so many conversations that we didn't have to have. That we didn't have. And I was thinking that, whoa, if this had come at the time, those letters had come at a time where they were there and that we decided to write those letters at that time, maybe I could have those conversations. Maybe I would have had I would have known what my mother was telling me before her passing. This is so important to have those blueprint legacy, because you don't regret not having those conversations because they are there.
That's right. I think our generation has to create more blueprints. We have to create blueprint. And again, when this program, you don't have to have a pre-writing experience to come in. You just have to have the desire and the willingness to write and to follow instructions that are given to you so that you get into writing, right? So we get you to writing. We have gotten 7-year-old kids to write and win awards. And I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying that it is doable. It is doable once we make the commitment. We make the commitment and we follow it with action. And then we see the result, which is that blueprint legacy. And then we're happy about it, we're happy about it. And again, some people come and go. We've been here. It would be so sad that the next generation, our great grandnieces and uncles, and that they don't even know who we were in times like this, that they don't even know who we were, that they forget about us. I see my daughter, every letter that she sees that was written to me, or that her paternal granddad used to collect letters. She picks all those letters. She wants to know because she's in search of her identity. Our children have identity crisis, especially those who are born out of our culture. They're exposed to social media. So they consume a whole lot out there, but which doesn't give them a proud sense of self. It doesn't give them a knowledge of self. So when I see her looking out for all the letters that my parents wrote to me when I was a student, she's saying, Mom, where are they? Sometimes it's handwritten. She's sitting down and trying to look at them because she says, this is a piece of me. I want to piece things together to see where I come from, who my ancestors, my great-grandparents were like. So this is so important that we create that blueprint to facilitate, to make it easy for the next generation to not fight for their identity, to not doubt about who they are, to know that we were here because we left those blueprints for them. So that's the reason why it's so important that I keep talking about creating a blueprint legacy.
Thank you. So, how much time do we have left?
We have like some 5 minutes to wrap it all up.
So, for the audience, how do we start? What are the different steps? Can you share that here?
Yes, sure. You just need to click on the comment, the description box below this video. You see the link that takes you to the registration page. When you register for each letter, you pay $20, and those $20 they cover all the editing and the designing that we'll do. This is really nothing, and so you get all access to the content of the workshop. You get 2 live workshops per series, and on top of that, you have access to the community of the writers, the co-authors, where you can really share, make new friends, and share information. And another big thing about this that makes this concept stand out is that once we release, we market collectively. You bring your network and the buy, you earn a revenue from what is coming. So you may realize that when you bring in 2 people to buy, you already over those $20 that you paid in, to join the class, and you have acquired skills. You have become a co-author. You've created a blueprint. You have found sisters, and you have done conversations and you've grown. So $20 to invest to join the class is really nothing compared to what it is that you will get. Just to give you a figure, the class will normally cost about $480 to join. So we're breaking it down because we know that we're all going through some very tough times, and we want to let more people in to go through this journey so that they can release and just find the higher version of them that they're becoming after this pandemic. So again, the information is in the description box of the video. Go in there, click, share with your loved one. Come with a friend, come with someone that you love so you can write together. Come with your daughter, come with your spouse, come with your partner, your significant other, come with your auntie, come with your niece, your godchild. This is a community where you get to learn about, you get to rediscover one another from a completely different perspective that you've never thought about, because you are writing and decluttering together.
So the letters are, we have 2 weeks, right, to write the letters. So when,
yes, and
when are the letters due?
So first of all, you register. The next workshops for season 2 are coming up on the 9th and the 8th of April. 9th and 8th of April, so we have time to register. And once you go through those workshops, that's when you start writing. And in between, we have follow-up workshops just to see where you are with your writing process, if you need any help. And we're always behind the line to coach you. I coach you behind the line. As co-curator, you'll be doing some of this work together with me. And some of the authors that have already joined, they will be in as well. And the children, you know, the award-winning young authors, they will be here to take you by the hand and say, hey, this is how we do it. And so, again, it's April 8th and 9th. That's when we have this workshops coming up. Now it's just a time for you to get your people in so we can register and get a bunch of people to write more letters together.
So people, mark your calendars, 8th and 9th of April this year. You'll be having those, you can register and attend those, the training and start writing your letters.
Right, and deadline for registration is April 5th. So you have until April 5th to register. Don't wait, the slots may be completely gone. So you want to register quickly to secure your slot. So, Elykiah, are you still here? It's raining. The network is so unstable.
I am here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
So let's wrap this up and go prepare the space to write more letters. And I'm going to go edit more letters. So what are you looking up to? What are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to having people joining this new season. I'm looking forward to myself having the courage. Those kids, as you know, we had a conversation with the award-winning young authors, and they gave me so much confidence in writing that for me it's a challenge that I'm up to. So I'm I'm taking the challenge, and then I will be ready to face myself and go inside myself to write those letters. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the healing it brings. I'm looking forward to the conversation that will start. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. What about you?
I am as well. I am as well. And you and I on this journey, you know, this is a very particular journey. For you and I,
is it the thunder we heard?
Yes, it's raining cats and dogs. But I know it's blessings, right? The rain and the water that comes is the universe blessing and, you know, nurturing the ideas that we're sharing right here. And the thunder is scaring away the pandemic. Yes, so I'm looking forward to you as co-curator for this season. I know that based on the things that you and I do together, our level of connectivity, the depth of it, and the friendship that connects us, I know that we're going to really get some great content coming in here that we will leave a very, very powerful blueprint for this season 1. Someone is saying yes. So we are encouraging people to register. Bring your daughters, bring your friends, bring anyone that you love. You know, there is no age limit, and just the desire to want to write. And again, the more people, the more the age difference is, the more you get to know your people that you call family and friends, because they will take you to places that you've never been before. So this is the thing that I'm really, really looking forward to. And yes, I can't wait to get started.
Yes, me too.
Yes. So people out there, the link is in the description box. Please share. We broadcast always on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, but we're also on Instagram. And we have some book launches coming up. Tomorrow, we're talking about Girls Let's Talk. That's a workshop that we're offering for girls to declutter, specifically girls. So you want to tune in tomorrow to listen to what the workshop has to offer. And that said, we thank you for having tuned in. And we will see you in another episode of the Globuntu Studio Live.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Beatrice, again for having me in this space. And thank you for all the authors out there who will be joining us in this great adventure.
You'll be here more often because, hey, curator, this is going to be one of your homes in the future. So thank you so much for accepting to co-curate and for giving us your time, your valuable time.
Thanks.
So goodbye. Please stay safe and get writing.